Leadership TV, and we are watching the Nigeria We Want. The Nigeria We Want is a collaborative project of UNICEF and Leadership TV. And in this show, we'll have Nigerian students from different schools talk about the type of Nigeria they want for themselves. Joining me in this first edition are students of Government Secondary School, Lugbe.
I'm one Lugbe, Emmanuel Chuku.
And another student from Government Secondary School, Wuse.
Lawrence and Beatrice.
So sit back and stay tuned. We'll go for a short break and be right back.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
We want. Sitting with me here, as we said, is Wando from Government Secondary School, Lugbe, and Beatrice from Government Secondary School, Wuse. So we'll start off the topic with the question: as a Nigerian child, what is your impression of Nigeria?
Nigeria, my impression about Nigeria. Nigeria is my country, but it's not well organized. Like the present situation of the country, with security, economic crisis, is not encouraging. Thank you.
So what is your impression of Nigeria?
Well, Nigeria is a country that belongs to us or contains lots of natural and human resources. The fact about Nigeria is we are blessed, we're gifted with natural and human resources. But the thing is, they are not being utilized to their full ability. They are not being utilized fully due to the incompetent leaders with their inadequate structures. So I believe that once we can get all these factors fixed, then the Nigeria we want can become a better place to be.
So let's take a different dimension. Let's talk about education now. Could you paint me a picture? Let's start with Beatrice. Paint me a picture of the state of infrastructure in your school. And when I say infrastructure, I mean, what is the state of your school laboratories, your IT laboratories, libraries, toilet facilities? Give me a picture of what that's like in your school.
Okay, so I attend government secondary school, which is in Abuja, located in the heart of the city. Well, our infrastructure to an extent is quite perfect per se, because our laboratories, by the grace of God, thankfully, they were renovated by Turkish embassy. They actually came to our school to renovate. So we have laboratories and equipment that are being used to their ability. Yes, and our IT, we have computers, but I'll be sincere here. Not all systems are working. And we're in a digital age, but we're not using every single moment of it in school. Most times we always come to our textbooks, but at least there should be a time whereby we go to the lab for research and different activities as well. And for the toilets, I would say it's not necessarily in a bad shape, but we need to be improved in it because we still use pig latrines
Hmm.
instead of water closets.
So what about you, Wanda?
I'm from government secondary school, Lugbe, Abuja, and our facilities like the laboratory, that that is very good. So we have enough books, but we don't have enough textbooks. We also have the laboratories. I'm a science student, and we don't have most of the equipment we have are old equipment. Some of them are not working, and we don't have some new equipment. As for the IT, that is the computer laboratory, we don't have enough computers. So that is all about.
So when I think of laboratories, when I was a younger student myself, such as you, I remember a teacher taking like a whole term to teach osmosis. And at the end of the day, I still didn't understand what he was talking about because we did not practice. He just simply gave us the definition. And then we started talking about osmosis the entire term. And I still did not get what it means. But I know that if the laboratories were working and you were to demonstrate what that is like, I'm sure that image would have been seared into my mind and I'll probably never forget it. So could you tell me how having this systems, having this IT, proper functioning IT system and proper functioning laboratories, how that can help learning? For you.
Okay, well, so I'm also a science student as well, and science without practicals is literally nothing because once we get older in life, when we become medical practitioners, you're not just writing essays and dealing with papers, you're dealing with human beings, you're dealing with test tubes and different apparatus, and these are things that should be instilled in us at an early age. So when we get there, it's always something difficult or different, just like the example you gave now about osmosis. But have instance, assuming you had proper laboratories by then, when you're being asked of osmosis now, you know what to do, you know how it looks like, you know that is exactly what I'm talking about. But relating to IT, the government should actually provide more infrastructure, more computers to schools that literally don't have any of them. So we can learn to use this item. So when we get older, it will help us both in our occupations and in our academics as well, because we now live in a digital era where all these items are needed.
Because I'm assuming it's going to be very difficult if you don't know how to use a computer and then you got it into the real world and then you're like, wow, I have to start learning from the beginning and others have gone way ahead of you. So let's look at if you had to, would you choose to go to a private school or remain in a government school? Let's get him back.
I love government school because it's a very disciplined school, unlike the private school which they lack disciplines. They lack also qualified teachers. But one thing I'm envy of private schools is that they have enough facilities. They have the monies that they make, they have enough facilities, they have enough teachers, but they are not qualified. So I would appreciate it if the government would help us in the government school by providing us all those facilities that will help our teachers who are qualified with good knowledge to improve our learning.
Funny question. Why do you think private schools don't have qualified teachers?
Private schools, qualities of the teachers. You have the moral quality, you have the academic qualifications. Now, in the government school, before a teacher is employed, the teacher is first screened by their employees. But in the private school, they are just after money. Some schools, they are after money. So if you just bring your certificate, they just employ you. And also, some parents, they buy results for their children in private schools. I can't imagine working day and night and burning my milk candles, and then the next thing, my result is bought and giving me a fake result. That is why I think the government school have more qualified teachers than the private school.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if I were to choose, I would rather stay in a government school because, yes, like you rightly said, government school is still discipline into their students and you get to meet the real reality of life. You don't just meet people from a particular class. You meet poor people, you meet middle class, you meet rich guys, and then you get to mingle with the world. So by the time you're going to university, probably not a private university, maybe a public one, you're already used to that feeling of being in the world. You're already at that raw state, so you know how to socialize easily rather than the private schools.
Interesting. So let's look at your thoughts about schooling abroad.
School.
What do you think of that? And we have a lot of Nigerian students moving outside of the country to school abroad. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if you ask me my dreams, one of my dreams, even when I was small, is to school in abroad, because I want to school in a school like London. Oxford University, because I want to be a very good professional in my career. I want to be a very good professional. I don't want a situation where I would have to waste 5 or 6 years in a university and I don't have enough experience. But schooling abroad exposes me to the outside world, and the world is becoming more competitive. I need to go out to encounter some of the experiences that help me in my professionalism.
But you literally have said it all.
So that's favorable to you. I mean, you're not worried that it's causing what we call brain drain in the country.
Yeah, I'm worried, but what can you choose to?
Okay, so let's move a little bit to another topic, the issue of governance. Let's do. What are your thoughts about Nigeria's governance? What are your thoughts about the state of the Nigerian governance? Do you feel this government is doing well enough for the people?
Thank you very much for that question. Well, I don't necessarily believe that the government is doing enough for the people. Though they're trying their best, but their best is not enough. They need to put in more effort and more strength. It's believed everywhere that they usually just sit on power, sit on his throne, want to stay there and die and occupy and consume every money. But this is not supposed to be so. You're supposed to you before you were elected, you wrote manifestos, you presented to us, you told us things you're going to do. Why did you just get there and forget everything we're supposed to do? Why did you have to be consumed by power and using it for your personal gain? I don't think that's supposed to be so. Because now we're just filled with incompetent leaders that don't have any human feelings for their citizens, which is not supposed to be so.
You said it all. You must have something to add to what she said.
Well, from my own point of view, the government is not really trying, especially when it comes to the security of our state, the economic of the country, and even education. I know the education is the building blocks of the society. It raises professionals who are going to take our country to the next level. And when the government fails in this aspect to raising future and competent leaders, they have also failed in the economic, both in all areas of our country. So I think the leaders should improve in the security of our students. They should improve in the economic sector, and they should help us, the students, by providing all the necessary facilities we need to become someone in life.
Okay, so this is a very important question. Do you still have hope in Nigeria?
I still have hope, because as long as you are living, there is hope. So it just takes good leaders for our country to rise back to becoming the giant of Africa.
Do you still have hope in Nigeria?
Yes, I do, and I believe that once we can get to this point where we can actually use this adage, lead are the leaders of tomorrow, where we don't have our grandparents on the throne and you get to release the seat for us. Because one of our fundamental rights as humans, once you're 18 years, you have the right to vote and be voted for. So that means a young person of 18 years can actually be a president. So why can't we have that in Nigeria and other countries? And in addition to what I've earlier said, I think we can actually pick some points or some lessons from developed countries and try to inculcate these lessons into Nigeria. I think it will make Nigeria better. And then we should try to change our mentality. Our mentality is what is killing us all, especially this religiosity and tribalism is just causing conflict. So it won't take us anywhere if we continue with this habit.
So thank you so much, Beatrice and Emmanuel, for joining me on the show today. Thank you so much, viewers, for listening to
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.